all those other kids, we're out.
I don't want to be on a nearly exploding bus. Survival instincts, people, come on.
Welcome to Liquid Pop, and this week we're going to be talking about Jedi, bounty hunters, holiday must-haves, and Cyberpunk 2077 with our special guest, Alanah Pearce, so stay tuned. In another continuation of the theatrical release saga, Warner has officially announced that all of its movies coming out in 2021 will release theatrically and on HBO Max at the same time. And the best part is that it won't cost HBO Max subscribers any extra to watch some of the most hyped movies of the year, like The Matrix 4 and Dune and Space Jam. But it's a little bit bittersweet for me because I live in Canada and we don't have HBO Max. Justin. But it's also because I genuinely love going to the movies, and I'm just kind of worried this is another nail in the theatrical coffin. The theater's always been such a special place for me, and I'm just not ready for it to die, but I am glad that people are going to be able to experience these movies in the safety and comfort of their own homes. Are any of you guys worried that theaters are going to completely die out in 2021, or is it just me? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section down below. And Fortnite is making another push to reclaim its dominance in the gaming sphere by launching its new season with another Marvel tie-in event, but this time starring the planet-eating Galactus. The event was actually so popular that it crashed both the Fortnite servers and Twitch. How do you crash Twitch servers? Fans have long theorized that Galactus would be the most logical follow-up to Thanos. Wait, so does that mean that Fortnite teased the future of the MCU? Strange times. With the Eternals right around the corner, it would only make sense that they'd be setting the stage for a major cosmic battle with Galactus. Here's hoping that it goes better than the last time they introduced him in the movies. And while it may seem a little bit cruel to tease it during a pandemic, Universal Studios Japan just released the teaser video for Super Nintendo World, and it looks amazing. When can I get on a plane again? The preview showed up massive replicas from the Mario games, a giant Bowser statue, and gave us a quick look at a Mario Kart ride with augmented reality goggles. I'm a little bit concerned with that February 2021 grand opening, but we'll just see what happens. And it is officially time for The Mandalorian, so if you're looking to avoid spoilers, click the timestamp down below to jump ahead to my interview with Alanah Pearce. So these past 2 episodes of The Mandalorian have probably been some of the most exciting we've ever seen, unless you're someone who just rather the show stayed in its own little separate section of the galaxy. But for fans of the Clone Wars, this was our first look at a live-action Ahsoka and her badass lightsaber skills. The episode revealed that she was looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn, most likely so she can try to find Ezra Bridger following the events of Star Wars Rebels. Like the Bo-Katan stuff, that seems like too much to deal with on The Mandalorian, so I wouldn't be surprised if this was one of the pitched spin-off series. But most importantly, we finally get some more information on Baby Yoda, like the fact that his name is Grogu. Which honestly sounds like it could be some kind of gross food, but seeing him react to his name is adorable. But it turns out that he was actually at the temple during Order 66, but just hidden away. And I love the internet because it took them no time at all to start editing pictures of Grogu into that iconic scene with Anakin and the younglings. But that also means that someone with enough heads up to save Grogu was like, frick all those other kids, we're out. But sadly, Ahsoka senses that same fear in Grogu that Yoda once sensed in Anakin. And because Ahsoka witnessed that classic downfall, she just wants to let Grogu's powers fizzle out. But that's good for us because it just means more adorable adventures with Mando and Grogu. And after such a heavy hitter episode, people just assumed that this last one was gonna be a filler episode. But boy were they wrong! Mando gets Grogu to the Seeing Stone on Tython so that he can set out a Force beacon for more training. However, this beacon won't just attract the Jedi, any Force-sensitive user will feel it, good or bad. But before he can even get started, the iconic Slave One, Boba Fett's ship, descends from the sky. And we have been waiting for this moment since the first episode of Season 2. And this is absolutely the most badass we've ever seen Boba Fett. He's brutal, smashing stormtrooper armor, blowing up their ships. Finally, Boba Fett is living up to his reputation. And as brutal as he is, he's actually the one who saved Fennec after she was shot in the stomach in the first season with some cybernetic help. But this episode is called A Tragedy, and oh my god, did it ever live up to that? Because Moff Gideon blows up the Razor Crest and then sends the Dark Troopers down to kidnap Grogu. I get that they need to create stakes and there's only 2 episodes left, but I don't need this emotionally. And just before the episode ends, we get a little taste of that darkness that Ahsoka mentioned as we see Grogu smashing stormtroopers around his holding cell. Which on the one hand is super adorable, but it's also heartbreaking, and Moff Gideon seems super into it. So I guess it's back to cloning monstrosities and stealing this poor little angel's blood. But after sending out that beacon, which Force-sensitive user do we think is gonna show up? Will we get a game crossover with Cal Kestis? Is Ezra just gonna show up on his own, or is it gonna be someone more sinister? What do you guys think, and what are you expecting from the last couple episodes of The Mandalorian? Let me know in the comment section down below. Next up, we're gonna be taking a look at Cyberpunk 2077, but before that, a message from our sponsors.
Listen up, it's that time of the year. Yes sirree, it's the holiday time, and I hear you're in need of some gifts. Well, your pal Jimbo here has got all the best gifts down at the Fun Palace. Come on down and check it out. Now, this holiday season, Jimbo's got all your electronics covered. Now, I know all the kids are wanting them Xboxes and these PS5s, but if they're so great, how come they make 5 of them, huh? Get this shit out of here. You know what you need? You need one of these Alienware 360 monitors. We got as many hertz as there are days in the year. Get one right now. Now, another hot item that's going right off them shelves is this little baby frog right here that all you Zoomers like. You know how I know you kids love them? I went on TikTok the other day and learned one of them dances. Check it out. That's right. I learned that just for you kids so I could sell this little baby right here. Now, this thing's going straight off the shelves. It's gonna be zooming out of here real fast, or my name ain't Jimmy Bob Billy Dean Paddington II, named after my mama and also my sister, same person. Let's go. Now, the rarest item we're selling this year is them Pokemon, and I ain't talking about that Twitch streamer. I'm talking about cards, baby. Roll Tide. Now, I went ahead and took the liberty of opening up a pack just for you guys so you can see what we got here. Nothing like a little bit of cardboard disappointment, no sirree. First thing we got here is a Pikachu. Now, nobody cares about this feller. Get him out of here. Second one we got here looks like a Black Lotus. I heard this one's pretty expensive. Maybe something to buy your significant other. And lastly, Tommy, what the hell is a Jensen? It's that much? Well, there you have it, folks. Jimbo's Fun Palace has all the hottest holiday items this season. Come on down and see me. I'd love to see your face. We're located somewhere in between Idaho and Nevada. I don't know quite where. I shouldn't even be using this map because the devil makes them. You can look it up on the internets yourself. Now get on out of here. Get!
Thank you so much, Jimbo, from the Fun Palace. Hey, how is that sponsored content? Who is this guy? Next segment. As of today, Cyberpunk has officially released, but some of you might have already been playing it. And I don't mean the tabletop game that it's based on. Due to a shipping error, some people started receiving their copies more than a week in advance. And CD Projekt Red was very quick to point out that anybody who streamed or uploaded content on the game before release date would get hit with a takedown notice. But today, you can officially stream like there's no tomorrow. The game itself offers players 3 different life paths to choose from: corporate, street kid, or nomad, and if you pick nomad, you might just run into today's guest, Alanah Pearce. So we're here today with Alanah. Do you want to tell the people about yourself?
Hi, I'm Alanah Pearce. I was in games media for about 8 years, and I'm now in video game development. And I'm a character in Cyberpunk and a character in a game called After Party. And I sort of have some voice lines in Gears 5 as well. But yeah, mostly been working professionally in video games for about 10 years, largely in a writing capacity.
Which is awesome. So yeah, I was gonna say you've been in a couple of video games before this, but how did this specific project kind of really get going? Like, how did you get involved?
I actually asked, and I think that that's like the thing about my entire career is really that I have asked if I wanted to do something. So this was forever ago. I don't even know if they'll remember that I asked. That I was like, hey, can I just like voice something in this game? Because that would be awesome. I think that was even before I was in Gears 5 that I reached out to someone on the team. They had me submit some stuff akin to a reel, and then I didn't hear back from them for ages, and then they came back at E3 maybe 2 years later, because obviously that game was in development for a long time, and were like, hey, we want to put you in the game. So they put me on, I'm in the Nomad life path exclusively. I can't talk about my quest just yet. So yeah, look for me in the Nomad life path, basically.
So is that kind of what you're most excited for when you dive into this game? Like just really immersing yourself in the story? Or is there something you're specifically looking forward to other than finding yourself, obviously?
I just love an RPG, if I'm being honest. And I think that's the thing about Cyberpunk that a lot of people have been confused about. This is not GTA. It's an RPG. There are so many systems and menus and dialogue trees. And I have been playing it avoiding conflict as much as possible. in a thing that you could do in the early Witcher games. It's the reason that I think The Witcher 2 is massively underrated, is that you can kind of talk your way out of boss fights. You can completely change the outcome by what you say or where you visit first or who you talk to before you actually get to the kind of climax moment of a particular segment. And that's the thing that I think is very fun to put into Cyberpunk, and it is still there because that world is so violent. Not that The Witcher's world isn't violent, but I just really love that element of gaming, of being able to play a quest line completely different to everyone else. And I did do it with the Maelstrom Hive, which a lot of people will have seen gameplay of. It's the guys who have the like tons of lights on their faces, big red lights.
Okay.
That we've seen gameplay of, and people previewed it, and I managed to get through that entire section of the game without actually fighting anyone by making the two factions who you would have conflict with fight each other instead.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
That'd be my kind of playthrough.
Love it.
I'd be like,
difficult.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the combat's still fun and the weapons are cool. I had like this sniper rifle that could shoot through walls. Like, it's not like that's not there, but I find it more challenging to really get into the RPG systems, to make it so that I can hack around things if I need to make sure I talk to every person, exhaust every dialogue tree, and like very much try to sort of manipulate this world through RPG mechanics. So that's 100% my jam. It's why I love The Witcher, and why I've loved like Obsidian's RPGs, and one of the coolest things about Cyberpunk, other than just Night City in general just being awesome.
Do you find that there's anything in it that sets it apart a lot from other RPGs, other than the stuff you've kind of already mentioned? Is there anything that really kind of sticks out to you? Because it does really seem unique right off the bat, just looking at everything that it is, but just kind of with your first impressions.
I think Night City is the thing that sets Cyberpunk apart. There's a lot of creativity there. I think the story's really strong, albeit a lot shorter than a lot of people expected. But I think Night City is just so cool and varied. And one of the things that I keep saying that I love that is how diverse it is. And that has unfortunately become like a trigger buzzword for some people. But I just mean, people dress so differently. There's a dude with green hair and a skirt on the same street as there's like a kid in almost like a military like garb. Like, it's just the styles are so well thought out and specific, and seeing them all together in the city is just so much color and just diversity. There's so much variety of kinds of people that you see, a kind of NPCs that you see, and there are tons on screen a lot of the time. But yeah, it's just so detailed and such an alive, vibrant world with so much variety and diversity, and I think that really stands out and never gets old. Night City is really cool.
Thank you so much for being here and giving us your thoughts on this amazing game that came out just today and your experience there. I'm really glad for all of your success. Happy for all your success and recent developments in your life. It's awesome. So thank you so much for being here. But before I let you go, I want to play a quick little game of Would You Rather. This is the special Keanu Reeves edition of Would You Rather in honor of Cyberpunk 2077 just releasing. Are you ready to play?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Number 1, a classic. Would you rather take the red pill or the blue pill in the Matrix? Blue pill, ignorance is bliss. You stay in the Matrix. Red pill, you wake up from the Matrix in a dystopian future.
Red pill.
Red pill. Yeah. Solid. You know, you want the honesty.
I want the honesty. I want to know.
You want the honesty. All right. Next one, deep cut. Would you rather be stuck driving a bus that would explode if you went below 50 miles per hour, or have the love of your life be 2 years in the future and only be able to communicate to them via written letter?
The love of the life one. I'm like, that's fine. Like, I don't want to be on a nearly exploding bus. Like, survival instincts, people, come on.
Would you rather have John Wick or John Constantine as a sidekick?
I think John Wick, probably. He's efficient, gets the job done, and loves dogs. So we have that we can bond over.
Yeah, I think he's more practical for like our current way of being, unless there are demons out there. But yeah, I think John Wick's probably better call, you know? Yeah. Would you rather use a time-traveling phone booth to change something from the past or learn something about the future?
It's got to be learn something about the future, because I feel like if you time travel with the past, the outcomes are so unpredictable that you could change the future so significantly anyway, right?
Yep.
That's how it works. So, yeah, no, I've got to learn something about the future.
Last one. Would you rather have augmented cyborg legs or augmented cyborg arms?
Legs, 100%. I would do that tomorrow if it were viable. If I could just change my legs to cyborg legs tomorrow, 100%. I would have
What
done
is
it
the reasoning?
years ago. So I have like, my ankles just suck. Yeah, I have like
My
crappy
wrists.
ankles, and I'm like, if I get knee pain, I'm like, just cut them off and
True.
give me like long fall boots like Shell from Portal, so I can just jump really far. It's a no-brainer, 100%.
Okay.
I'd do it right now.
I agree with your decisions. I think you've made all the correct decisions on this completely arbitrary game. So good job, and thanks for being here.
I'm stoked to win nothing.
Thank you all so much for watching this week's episode of Liquid Pop. Let me know what you're thinking in the comment section down below. Leave a like on the video, smash that notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, happy gaming. But that's good for us, because it just... But that's good for us, because it just means more adorable adventures with Mandu and Grogu. I just said Mandu and Grogu. Crap. But that's good for us, because it just means more adorable adventures with Mandu and... And after a heavy hitter like that, a lot of people... Nope, focus. Focus on me. You can do it.